Every year, a group of IGNOU students spend 6 months writing a project they were never required to write. And in the same year, another group skipped that project completely, and only later discover that it was the easier of the two options in front of them. Both mistakes come from one line printed under IGNOU's own course table. That line contains a single word. Elective. I am BK Sahni, founder of IGNOUproject.com. Since 2010, I have guided IGNOU distance learning students through project work. In the next half hour, you get the complete IGNOU MAUS project for MEDSP-045, exactly as the School of Extension and Development Studies documents it. Topic, method, supervisor, proposal, approval, report, submission, and evaluation. Let us start with the direct answer. MEDSP-045 is project work. It is an 8-credit course in the IGNOU MAUS program, the Master of Arts in Urban Studies, and in the PGDUPDL diploma, the Postgraduate Diploma in Urban Planning and Development. You choose an urban topic and an eligible supervisor, get a written proposal approved by the school, run the study by case study or survey method, and submit a report of about 10,000 words. The IGNOU MAUS project for MEDSP-045 carries 100 marks. You need 40% to pass. The report runs to roughly 40 to 50 double-space typed pages, and all 100 marks rest on one external examiner reading your report. Now the sentence that changes everything. MEDSP-045 is an elective, not a compulsory course. IGNOU's official MAUS course structure marks it with an asterisk and the word elective, and the handbook says the same. You elect either a theory course or a project work of 8 credits. So the choice is between two courses. MEDSP-045, project work, 8 credits, field-based, or MEDSE-046, development, issues and perspectives, also 8 credits, an ordinary theory paper with an assignment and a term-end examination. 1. Not both. Almost every project-selling website calls MEDSP-045 mandatory. That is wrong, and it costs students months. Open your re-registration record and confirm which course you registered for. Now, where this project sits inside IGNOU MAUS. First, the code confusion. IGNOU's official MAUS program page lists this course as MEDS-045. The project handbook, the approval proforma, the evaluation sheet, and IGNOU all call it MEDSP-045. They are the same 8-credit course. The P in the middle simply stands for project. On envelopes and on the proforma, use the handbook form MEDSP-045 with 3 digits. Here is the MAUS first year. 4 compulsory theory courses of 6 credits each. MEDS-041, Introduction to Urban Development. MEDS-042, Issues and Challenges in Urban Planning and Development. MEDS-043, Dynamics of Urban Planning and Development. And MEDS-044, Monitoring and Evaluation of Projects and Programs. Then one elective of 8 credits. 24 plus 8 is 32 credits. The second year is 32 more credits, chosen from 5 courses of 8 credits each. MEDS-047, Ecology, Environment and Urban Development. MEDS-048, Sustainable Development and Smart Cities. MEDS-049, Dynamics of Development in Urban Construct. MHI-10, Urbanization in India. And MPA-016, Decentralization and Local Governance. So IGNOU MAUS is a 64-credit master's degree, minimum duration 2 years, maximum 4 years. Eligibility is graduation in any discipline. The medium of instruction is English. The program fee shown on IGNOU's official page is 8,000 rupees per year, plus a registration fee. The school is the School of Extension and Development Studies. Which brings the third correction. MEDSP-045 is a first-year course, not a final-year dissertation. Most websites place it in the advanced stage of the program. It is not there. It sits in Year 1 beside MEDS-041 to 044. The reason is simple. The MAUS first year is exactly the PGDUPDL diploma block. You can exit after it with that diploma, and a PGDUPDL holder can enter MAUS Year 2 by credit transfer. That is why the handbook carries PGDUPDL on its cover. So which should you choose? The project or the theory paper? Choose MEDSP-045. If you can reach a ward, a municipal office, or a group of users you can survey, and you want real research for a job file, choose MEDSE-046. If reliable fieldwork is not possible for you. One honors point either way. The project has no examination hall, but approval takes about 6 weeks. And a rejected proposal means repeating that cycle. Next, the method, because the handbook is very specific about this. The handbook advises exactly 2 methods. The case study method, which studies 1 unit in depth. A municipality, a municipal school, an urban NGO, 1 scheme, 1 ward. Or the survey method, which collects quantitative facts from a sample of respondents across an area. Descriptive, analytical, and mixed method labels used elsewhere are not what this handbook asks for. The handbook calls the case study a social microscope. It studies everything about something rather than something about everything. Choose it for a how or why question, such as why a citizen charter failed in 1 municipal corporation. Choose the survey method for a how many or how satisfied question. The handbook covers telephone, mail, and personal face-to-face surveys. For most IGNOU students, the personal survey works best. Now, choosing a topic that will actually get approved. The handbook gives 7 tests for a topic. Is the topic suitable? Is it relevant to urban planning and development? Do you have the time? Can you collect the data inside that time? What are the data collection challenges? What will data collection cost? And do you have the local language? That last test is the one students ignore. Without the local language, your interview schedule fails on day 1. The handbook prints 30 sample topic areas. First half, evaluation of a public transport system in any city. A survey on urban water or air pollution. A case study of the master plan of any town. The impact of a metro on real estate growth. User satisfaction with urban services like transport, housing, or sanitation. A case study of a Nagar Panchayat or urban municipality, a municipal school, an urban Anganwadi center, or an urban NGO. The rest of the list: health status of women and children in an urban slum, privatization of urban services, public-private partnerships in urban services, the functioning of a ward Sabha, financial sustainability of a municipality, issues of the urban aged, reasons for urban migration, conditions of urban migrant labor, solid waste management, women entrepreneurs, urban poverty alleviation programs, parking problems, and urban e-governance. Let me carry one of those through the rest of this video so you see the whole process on a single topic. Our running example is constraints in on-street parking in the Rajwada commercial area of Indore, and suggestions for improvement. Survey method: 150 respondents. Shopkeepers, delivery drivers, and private vehicle users. It passes all 7 tests. Narrow enough to finish, clearly urban. Respondents standing in 1 commercial block. Local language. and parking is already on the handbook's own sample list, which makes approval far more likely. Now the supervisor, and this is where most proposals are actually rejected. The handbook lists 5 categories of eligible supervisor: faculty at IGNOU headquarters in the School of Extension and Development Studies, academic counselors of PGDUPDL or the Extension and Development Studies programs with relevant experience, teachers and researchers working in urban planning and development, anyone with a PhD in urban development, development studies, economics, sociology, public administration, political science or extension education, or a master's or MPhil in those disciplines plus 2 years of experience. That list is wider than students assume. Your supervisor does not need an urban studies degree. A sociology, economics, or public administration PhD qualifies. So does a master's holder with 2 years of relevant experience, so a college lecturer you know, or a senior officer in your department may well be eligible. Now the rule that quietly rejects proposals. The complete signed biodata of your supervisor must be enclosed, even if that supervisor is an academic counselor of IGNOU's own PGDUPDL program. The handbook states it plainly. If the complete and signed biodata of the supervisor is not enclosed, the proposal will not be entertained. The biodata must carry specific fields: date of birth, full office and residential address, contact telephone numbers, academic qualifications with the year of passing, and work experience with designation and name of organization. For an academic counselor, also state which courses they counsel, since when, and the name and code of their study center. 2 more supervisor rules. If the school does not accept your proposed supervisor, you must change the supervisor and submit the whole proposal again, signed by the new supervisor. It is treated as a brand new proposal, not a correction, and the same applies if you change supervisors yourself. And the university pays your supervisor a token honorarium of 300 rupees, claimed after the report is submitted. Next, the project proposal. Many students call it the MAUS synopsis. The handbook fixes 7 sections. Title, Introduction. Objectives, problem statement, research methodology, which must state the locale, the sampling, the instruments, and the statistical tools you will use. Limitations, if any. And references. That is the complete list. No abstract, no declaration page, and no chapter plan is asked for at proposal stage. On our parking topic, the title stays exactly as we framed it. 3 objectives are enough. 1. To examine the present on-street parking pattern in the Rajwada commercial area. 2. To identify the constraints faced by shopkeepers and vehicle users. 3. To suggest practical measures to reduce parking congestion. 3 measurable objectives are far safer than 6 vague ones, because every objective you write must be answered in your results. The methodology paragraph answers 4 things, in order: locale, the Rajwada commercial area of Indore; sampling, 150 respondents selected by stratified random sampling across 3 groups; instruments, a structured interview schedule with closed and open-ended items; statistical tools, percentages, mean scores, and a rank order of reported constraints; locale, sampling, instruments, tools. Write it in that order. The proposal pack is 3 documents in 1 envelope. 1. The pro forma for approval of project proposal, which is Annexure 2 of the handbook, filled and signed by both you and your supervisor. 2. The detailed signed biodata of the supervisor. 3. 1 copy of the project proposal itself. Send 1 copy only and keep 1 with you. The proforma is short, so fill it carefully. Enrollment number, study center, your name and address, regional center, title of the project, name and address of the supervisor. Then 1 yes or no question. Is the supervisor an academic counselor of PGDUPDL? If yes, add the name and code of the study center, then both signatures and both dates. The school fills the project proposal number in the box at the top. Now submission and approval, and this is where the two addresses matter. Your project proposal goes to the coordinator, PGDUPDL, School of Extension and Development Studies, IGNOU, Maidangari, New Delhi, 110068, not to your study center, not to your regional center, to the school at IGNOU headquarters. The words on the envelope are part of the rule. Write MEDSP-045 prominently on the envelope. And even though you are an MAUS student, the address line reads PGDUPDL, because the school sorts proposals by that label. Do not replace it with MAUS. Several popular websites tell students to hand the proposal in at the study center. The handbook says nothing of the kind. The advised dates are simple. If you were admitted in the January session, send the proposal by the 30th of April. If you were admitted in the July session, send it by the 31st of October. These are advisory dates for timely completion. Students who miss them can still submit proposals throughout the year. There is no single hard closing date. Then comes the wait. The school sends a written communication about approval or non-approval within 6 weeks of receiving your proposal, by email and by post. So plan backwards. 6 weeks of waiting sits between the day you post the proposal and the day you can begin field work. If the proposal is not approved, you receive comments for reformulating it. The resubmission then carries 4 things: the revised proposal, a revised pro forma, a copy of the rejected proposal, and the pro forma bearing the evaluator's comments, with the project proposal number allotted to you. Keep that number safe. Every later query depends on it. One discipline point saves whole sessions. Do not print your interview schedule and start collecting data before approval arrives. If the school asks you to narrow the locale, change the sample, or rewrite the objectives, every day of fieldwork done before approval is wasted. Now the project report itself. The specifications are exact. About 40 to 50 double-spaced typed pages, not exceeding approximately 10,000 words, excluding appendices and exhibits. 10% variation on either side is permitted. A 4-size paper. 1.5 line spacing. English. A bound volume, so your safe working range is roughly 9,000 to 11,000 words. The handbook also fixes the order of the report. Title page. Certificate of Originality. Acknowledgement. Table of contents. Introduction. Review of the literature, methodology, results and discussion. Conclusion. Limitations. Suggestions for further work. References in APA style, and appendices. Follow that order exactly. The evaluation sheet follows it too. Notice what is not on that list. There is no separate abstract page and no separate declaration page in the handbook order. Many ready-made samples insert both. Adding them will not usually fail you. But leaving out the certificate of originality can, because it must carry the signature of both the student and the supervisor. That certificate is Annexure 3. On our parking study, the chapters almost write themselves. The introduction states the problem, the objectives, and why Rajwada was chosen. The review of literature covers earlier Indian studies on central business district parking. The methodology repeats the approved locale, sample, instrument, and tools in past tense. Then results and discussion carries the real weight. 2 more report rules. References go in APA style, listed alphabetically. The handbook prints work patterns for books, journal articles, book chapters, and websites, and the appendices must carry 2 things: the interview schedule or questionnaire you actually used, and a copy of the approved pro forma, the approved proposal, and your supervisor's biodata. Now the second address for the finished report. One typed copy goes to the Registrar, Students Evaluation Division, IGNOU, Maidan Garhi, New Delhi, 110068 by registered or speed post, and on the top of that envelope you write Project Report, PGDUPDL. That label is what lets the Evaluation Division sort your report to the right school. 2 addresses, 2 labels, proposal to the School of Extension and Development Studies, envelope marked MEDSP-045, report to the Students Evaluation Division, envelope marked Project Report PGDUPDL. Send the finished report to the school by mistake and it can sit in the wrong building for weeks. Now an important update that a printed handbook cannot give you. The handbook describes postal submission. IGNOU has since opened an online project submission portal, activated separately for each term end examination session, with an evaluation fee and a single PDF upload. So before you post anything, check the current session notification on ignou.asi.in and follow whichever route is open. Reports sent by ordinary email are not accepted for evaluation. Once the report is received, a project report number is allotted. If the report reaches IGNOU between the 1st of December and the 31st of May, the result is declared with the June term end examinations. If it reaches between the 1st of June and the 30th of November, the result comes with the December term end examinations. The report is never returned, so keep your own bound copy. Now, how those 100 marks are actually split. This is Annexure 5 of the handbook, and almost nobody shows it to students. Introduction. With objectives and rationale, 15 marks. Review of the literature, 15 marks. Methodology, 20 marks. Results and discussion, 40 marks. Conclusions, 10 marks. Total 100 marks and 40% to pass. Read that split again because it should change the way you write. 40 of your 100 marks sit in one section. Results and discussion, 20 more sit in methodology. So 60 marks out of 100 are decided by how you collected your data and what you did with it, not by your introduction. Most week reports spend 40 pages on introduction and 8 on findings. On our parking study, that means tables. Percentage of respondents reporting a search time above 10 minutes. Mean satisfaction score by respondent group. Rank order of the constraints reported. Each table is followed by a paragraph saying what the number means for Rajwada and how it compares with the studies you reviewed. Tables without discussion score badly. Discussion without tables scores worse. One more thing about those marks. The external examiner is selected by the Students Evaluation Division from a list approved by the School of Extension and Development Studies. The MEDSP-045 Handbook prescribes no assignment, no term-end examination, and no Viva voce for this course. Your entire 100 marks rest on the written report. Some regional centers do arrange a Viva for certain programs, so confirm with yours, but this handbook prescribes none. Before we close, the mistakes that actually cause rejection. 8 of them, in the order I see them: Supervisor biodata not enclosed. A topic that is not clearly urban. Objectives that cannot be measured. A methodology paragraph with no locale and no sample size. Sending the proposal to the study center instead of the school. Starting fieldwork before approval arrives. A report copied from a purchased sample. And a certificate of originality signed by only one of the 2 people. On that 7th one, be careful. IGNOU does not accept repeated projects. A ready-made report submitted as it is can be rejected, and you lose the entire session. Use samples to learn the structure and the tone. Collect your own data from your own city. So, is the MEDSP-045 project actually worth choosing? Honestly, yes, for a specific kind of learner. If you work in a municipality, a corporation, a Naga Panchayat, or an urban NGO. This course lets you study your own field of work and finish with a document you can show, IGNOU's own MAUS page names. Exactly those learners. Functionaries of corporations, municipalities and Naga Panchayats, and employees of institutes and NGOs in urban sectors. Is IGNOU MAUS valid for jobs? It is a regular master's degree from IGNOU, a central university, with the same recognition as any other IGNOU postgraduate degree. For urban sector roles, a completed field project is a real advantage over a theory-only route, because it shows you have handled real data, but I will not give you a salary figure or a placement promise. Nobody honestly can. Now the questions MAUS students ask most often. Is MEDSP-045 compulsory for MAUS? No. It is an elective of 8 credits paired with MEDSE-046. How many credits is it? 8 credits on IGNOU's official MAUS course structure and in the handbook. Pages calling it a 6-credit course are out of date. How long should the MEDSP-045 report be? 40 to 50 double-space pages, not exceeding roughly 10,000 words, with 10% variation. Is there a Viva voce for MEDSP-045? The handbook prescribes none. Evaluation is 100 marks on the written report, read by an external examiner. Where do I send the IGNOU MAUS project synopsis? To the coordinator, PGDUPDL, School of Extension and Development Studies, IGNOU, Maidangari, New Delhi, with MEDSP-045 written on the envelope. How long does approval take? A written communication within 6 weeks of receipt, by email and by post. Can your supervisor be your own IGNOU academic counselor? Yes, with the complete signed biodata enclosed. 10 things to carry away. MEDS-045 and MEDSP-045 are one course. It is 8 credits. It is an elective against MEDSE-046. It sits in MAUS Year 1. Case study or survey, nothing else. 7 topic tests before you commit. Supervisor biodata every time. Proposal to the school, report to the evaluation division. 6 weeks for approval, and 40 of your 100 marks live in results and discussion. 3 of our other videos cover the pieces around this. The IGNOU project format video covers page setup, margins, certificates, and binding for any program. The IGNOU synopsis video covers proposal writing across programs. And the IGNOU project submission video covers the online portal, the evaluation fee, and status checking. The links are in the description. Everything here comes from IGNOU's official MEDSP-045 Project Handbook and IGNOU's own MAUS program page. Dates, fees, and submission routes change, so confirm the current position on ignou.ac.in before you send anything. I am BK Sahni, founder of ignouproject.com, guiding IGNOU students since 2010. If this helped, subscribe and leave your MAUS question in the comments.